This week, right here on Charger Bulletin News, we take a moment to celebrate Native American Heritage Month. Patriotism rises as elections close, and what to expect for registration this semester, right here on Charger Bulletin News.
Welcome back to another episode of Charger Bulletin News. I'm Sweden Patterson.
And I'm Paris Taylor. Let's get right into this week's stories.
A tragic plane crash in Louisville, Kentucky has left at least 12 dead and several injured. The MD-11, a cargo jet, crashed shortly after takeoff Tuesday evening as it set off for Honolulu. The National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSB, confirmed that the plane's left wing caught fire and its left engine broke off during takeoff. However, the cause for these failures is still under investigation. With the plane setting off for Honolulu, it was carrying more than 38,000 gallons of fuel, which created a massive ball of fire. A team from the NTSB is on scene leading the investigation, which is expected to take 1 to 2 years. The plane's black boxes have been recovered by investigators, according to the NTSB. We have identified the cockpit voice recorder and the flight data recorder. As you can imagine, it suffered some heat, but not intrusion, but heat around it, Todd Inman, NTSB member said. Investigation through the crash site and search rescue teams from Louisville Fire Department, the Louisville Metro Police Department, and the Kentucky National Guard. However, expectations are not high, with Governor Andy Beshear saying responders are shifting from rescue mode to recovery mode.
SNAP benefits have been halted as of November 1st due to the government shutdown and aren't set to continue until after the government's reopening. SNAP, or the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, is a federal food aid program that helps over 40 million Americans buy groceries each month. It's commonly referred to as food stamps. Just in Connecticut, around 350,000 residents rely on SNAP, including many college students who meet income requirements. On Monday, the U.S. Department of Agriculture announced during a Rhode Island court hearing that an emergency fund of $4.6 billion would be used to cover about half of the benefits until the government reopens. Following the hearings, Trump posted on Truth Social on Tuesday that SNAP benefits were handed out haphazardly by his predecessor, Joe Biden, and will be given out when the radical left Democrats open up the government, which they can easily do and not before. The government will still use this fund for partial aid this month. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt clarified his post, stating that Trump does not want to have to tap into this fund in the future.
Native American Heritage Month is a time to recognize and celebrate history, culture, and contributions of Native Americans and Alaska Native communities. The observance has already been officially recognized since 1990 and later expanded to include Alaska Natives in 2008. It's a month that invites all of us to learn more about the many tribes and traditions that have shaped the land we live on today. Also, a moment to acknowledge the challenges Native American communities have faced, such as loss of land, language, and representation. While it is also a moment to support ongoing efforts towards respect and cultural preservation, many schools and organizations across the country are marking the month with events, educational programs, and celebrations. This past Monday, the University of New Haven held a flag raising at the Peterson Library flagpole, followed by a tasting of Native American dishes to honor the heritage and bring the community together. If you're looking to get involved, you can support Native-owned businesses and artists, attend cultural events, or simply take the time to learn about Indigenous history of your local area. Native American Heritage Month is ultimately about listening, learning, and celebrating voices and traditions that continue to shape our society today. How are you celebrating Chargers?
Now, let's head over to Michael Crowley and see what's going on in the world of sports.
Hey, thanks, Paris. Let's get into this week's Charger highlights, starting off with Charger football. Football had a tough loss against Sacred Heart University last weekend losing 35-20. They play their last home game on Saturday at 3:30 against Merrimack College. Women's soccer finished up their season with a close game against Mercyhurst University, losing 2-1. Men's basketball opened up their season in Storrs on Monday night against the University of Connecticut. The Huskies took the game, winning 79-55. Columbia University visits our very own Hazel Athletic Center afternoon at 1 p.m. Long Island University beat our field hockey team 8-0 at home this weekend, officially wrapping up the Chargers' fall season. On the brighter side of news, women's volleyball won the doubleheader against Lemoyne University this past weekend. They were able to celebrate Senior Day on Saturday, winning the match 3-1. This weekend's performance earned Cassidy Event NEC's Rookie of the Week. The team wraps up their season tomorrow night at Central Connecticut State University at 6 p.m. Both our women's and men's cross-country teams took home 8th place in the NEC Championship last weekend. Senior Mohammed Abunar of the men's team finished 6th overall, which earned him all NEC's first team honors. He is officially the first New Haven cross-country athlete to receive an all-conference status. Well, that wraps up our sports segment. Now let's switch gears and see what's making headlines and entertainment this week with Amina Taifour.
Thanks, Michael. This week's entertainment starts with an update on Halloween. This Halloween was filled with many creative costumes worn by stars. For years, there has been one specific star that has been deemed the Queen of Halloween. Heidi Klum did not disappoint this year as she transformed into the mythical Greek creature Medusa for her 24th annual Halloween Bash. Klum's intricate costume was a work of art brought together by a team of 15 artists, with features such as hand-painted detailing, fangs, a tail, and even a headpiece of moving snakes. Klum's husband, Tom Kalitz, matched her costume as he dressed up as a Greek soldier turned to stone. While many stars were praised for their Halloween costumes like Klum, one celebrity in particular received backlash for theirs as it was deemed offensive. Julia Fox attended a Halloween party dressed as former First Lady Jackie Kennedy, but Fox's costume was a replica of Jackie's infamous blood-splattered pink suit worn on the day of her husband John F. Kennedy's assassination. Fox's choice to wear the costume was seen as controversial as she received a lot of online comments for the costume being tasteless and disrespectful. JF Kennedy's grandson, Jack Schlossberg, took to Twitter to criticize Fox by saying, "Julia Fox glorifying political violence is disgusting, desperate, and dangerous. I'm sure her late grandmother would agree." Julia Fox, however, defended her choice of costume in an Instagram post saying, "I'm dressed as Jackie Kennedy, in the pink suit, not as a costume but as a statement. When her husband was assassinated, she refused to change out of her blood-stained clothes, saying, 'I want them to see what they've done.' The image of the delicate pink suit splattered with blood is one of the most haunting juxtapositions in modern history." While the costume of choice may be controversial, it did highlight a significant and also tragic moment in our history. Jackie Kennedy's suit was never cleaned after the assassination and is currently preserved by the National Archives in Maryland, just outside of Washington, D.C. Once again, the Queen of Christmas has spoken. At the stroke of midnight on November 1st, Mariah Carey released her long-awaited annual It's Time video, officially ending Halloween and launching into the most festive season of the year. This year's edition of the viral tradition features Carey descending from the heavens, quite literally dressed as a radiant Christmas angel. In true Mariah fashion, the situation is handled with a frosty glare and a wave of her hand freezing Eckner mid-sentence. Then, as the clock strikes midnight, she looks directly into the camera and belts out the words the internet has been waiting to hear all year. It's time. Let's take a look at the video firsthand.
Halloween slayed, but now it's time. Spill the tea. Who's the thief?
Busted! Bad news, Mariah Carey. The elves are striking this year. Elf revenge for putting us through holiday hell. Santa's helper quit. I'm pawning all this so I can afford elf therapy.
That's my blush, elf boy.
Your lipstick? I'm taking it. Christmas, it's canceled. No bells, no cheer, no glam. Bye, sweetie.
You can't cancel Christmas.
Any last words?
Yeah.
Can we not? Oh!
I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is
snowman now. Great.
Carrie's yearly It's Time announcement has become a pop culture ritual, signaling to fans that the holidays have begun. And she seems to top herself every single year. Within hours, hashtag It's Time and hashtag Mariah Season were trending worldwide. And now that she's said the words, there's no turning back. It's official. The holidays have begun. That's all for this week in entertainment. With Halloween scandals and Christmas coming, it's never a dull day in entertainment. Back to you, Paris.
2 Massachusetts men have been arrested and are facing federal charges after an explosion inside a Harvard Medical School research lab this past weekend. Investigators say the blast happened around 3 a.m. inside the Goldenson building. A campus officer responding to a fire alarm tried to stop the suspects as they ran from the scene, but was unsuccessful. U.S. Attorney Leah Foley says it is too early to speculate on a motive, but a law enforcement official told CNN the 2 men had recorded the explosion and then showed it to friends. The same official added that they do not believe the men to be politically motivated. Harvard Medical School says the affected area has been cleared and is fully operational. In a message to the campus community, the school said there was no structural damages and all labs and equipment remain intact. Court documents reveal the explosion was likely caused by Roman candle fireworks. The suspects were reportedly seen lighting them around 2:24 a.m. and later tried to get rid of the clothes they were wearing that night. The investigation is still ongoing, and while the building was open for classes Monday, increased patrols were on the campus as a precaution.
Coming up, information on daylight savings and how the fight to cancel it. But first, let's see what's going on around campus. Nina DiMonato has a scoop on student life.
Thanks, Sweden. Let's jump right in. Chargers, it's time to register for your spring classes. As of right now, registration is open for seniors, juniors, and special populations. Sophomores and freshmen, you guys will have to wait until November 11th and 13th, respectively. If you haven't registered yet, upperclassmen, hurry up and secure your classes. Make sure there are no holds on your account or your registration will be locked until it's settled. You will need your registration pin, which you should have gotten from your advisor at your advisor meetings. If by any chance you haven't had an advisor meeting yet, make sure to find your advisor at the top of your degree audit and email them for a registration pin and plan. Attention all university members. The school's campus pantry is currently hosting a food drive in support of those facing food insecurity. The drive began at the beginning of this week on November 3rd and lasts until tomorrow the 7th. Suggested items to be donated are non-perishable food products. If you choose to lend a helping hand in donating, you can drop your items off at any of these various locations. The campus pantry on Rudin Street from 9 to 4 p.m., the information desk inside Bartels Center, the Bartels Activities Student Center, or on One Care Lane. Any donations given to the university are greatly appreciated and directly support students' well-being, making sure everyone has access to these necessities. Postcards from Italy continue this week with Student Life reporter Will Whalen. Let's check it out.
What's going on, Chargers? I'm Will Whalen, and right now I'm on a Soviet sleeper train from Romania into Moldova. But first, I have to get you caught up on a few things. We're outside the Romanian Parliament building. This is the 11th biggest building in the world, and it's the world's heaviest. So heavy, in fact, it's actually sinking into the ground. On the other side of the Parliament building, we have Romania's National Church. That means behind the world's heaviest building, we have the world's largest Christian Orthodox church. We weren't able to get all the way inside, but we were able to get to a nice little outdoor section. And check this out. Someone gave me this little bracelet for free. Thank you, blonde woman that works in the store. Next, we made our way to the train station. Despite being on our ex-Soviet tour, I was met with a capitalist paradise, which culminated in 2 golden arches. This is where we decided to eat before the ride. All right, now that we're all caught up, let me tell you a little bit about the Friendship Train. The Prietania, or Friendship, is the last remaining Soviet sleeper train, which takes a 13-hour route from Bucharest to Chisinau. Be careful if you want evidence of it, though. If you get the staff in any video, they may threaten to throw your phone out a window. This train contains a bar which serves food, which is cheap, delicious, and should not be passed up. At 3 a.m., the train needs to switch wheels at the border due to different infrastructure. The perfect time for Border Patrol to wake you up and ask questions, which is fine because it means you almost made it. Moldova. We were met with a train station that finished reconstruction during the Soviet Union. Immediately after exiting the front doors, I felt immense culture shock. People lined the streets selling their wares for what must have been almost a mile. This ended around a statue commemorating victims of the communist regime's deportations. So we've safely made it to Moldova. They have a lot of rules about recording here. You can't record government buildings or facilities, which obviously is a lot of what I've been doing in countries. So we're just going to wrap it up here. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, Will. For more study abroad content, Charger Bulletin has extended videos on our YouTube page. Make sure to check it out and tune in next week for Will's next postcard. That's all for Student Life. Back to you, Sweden.
Thanks, Nina. Tuesday marked the first substantial election since the Trump administration took office, featuring several key races all across the country. Two major gubernatorial races were in Virginia and in New Jersey. In Virginia, Democrat Abigail Spanberger was elected over Republican Winsome Earl-Sears. And in New Jersey, Democrat Mike Sherrill won over Republican Jack Ciattarelli. In the race for New York, Mayor Democrat Zoran Mamdani secured a victory. In California, a redistricting ballot to favor Democrats won overwhelmingly. Locally in New Haven, Democrat incumbent Justin Elicker was re-elected as mayor, defeating Republican Steve Orozco. And following the results, former President Barack Obama commented saying, "It's a reminder that when we come together around strong, forward-looking leaders who care about the issues that matter, we win. But we've still got plenty of work to do, but the future looks a little bit brighter."
With the clocks falling back this past weekend, a lot of people in Connecticut are talking about whether daylight savings should finally end. In Washington, lawmakers have been working on something called the Sunshine Protection Act, a bill that would make daylight saving time permanent across the country. Supporters say it would give us brighter evenings all year and make sleep schedules easier to manage. But after almost 7 years since its first introduction, the bill still hasn't passed in Congress. Some states are trying to take matters into their own hands. Florida, Tennessee, and Maine have already voted to stay on daylight saving time all year, but they do need federal approval before they can actually do it. Other states like Massachusetts and New York are thinking about sticking with standard time instead. Health experts say this is about more than just convenience. Studies show that changing the clocks twice a year can raise the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and car accidents in the days after the switch. Sleep doctors say keeping one consistent time, especially standard time, would be healthier for our bodies and mornings. As you've enjoyed that extra hour of sleep this past weekend, you might find yourself wondering the same thing as everyone else. Should we just stop changing the clocks?
Thanks for watching Charger Bulletin News.
If you have a story idea, email us at chargerbulletinnews@newhaven.edu.
And be sure to check out the latest edition of Charger Bulletin newspaper, currently in stands around campus.
Thank you for watching. I'm Paris Taylor.
And I'm Sweden Patterson. We'll see you next week.